Yeah, we can actually see where the old, look at that, man. You can see exactly where they probably just used like a giant excavator or something. This is that glazing that we were talking about yesterday. Yeah. You got to break all that up. The poor root system can't get through this. So,
yeah, there's also a lot of rocks in there.
Yeah. Yeah, we're gonna, so I bought a bag of compost. We're gonna amend the soil because I'm almost 100% this is just fill dirt.
Yeah.
So when they do these big neighborhoods, they basically just scrape and replace, and it's just a mixture of dirt. And you know, like the top 18 inches is very different soil than what's underneath it. So this is dirt, not soil. So we're gonna try to amend it with some cotton burr compost, a lot of water, and see if we can't help this tree get the nutrients it needs, start shooting those roots out. But it's gonna take a lot of care from the owner or the tenant here to make sure that this tree has everything it needs to survive. Okie dokie. So we pulled the tree out of the pot, let's call it, and a lot of times you'll see folks just grab it out and drop it in the hole. But this is probably the most important part of planting. Is you can see we're going to agitate all of that dirt, and we're trying to get these roots to pull out because we're tired of them doing this in the pot. The only place they can grow is back in. We want them to spread out. So we're going to spend probably a good 5-10 minutes just shaking dirt off, trying to get these. And John will come over here and we'll show you. We're going to try to remove any girdling, any circling that we see, and really help that root system grow outward and sustain itself. Agitate. Really try to find some of these bigger roots that might be circling. Basically take a blade and cut out the last inch of everything. Fibrous roots grow so quickly that this is not going to be the shock to the system, but it will teach them where they need to grow from there. Look at that, man. Those look awesome. Those are coming out really nicely. So this is starting to look really good. Tease those roots, and you can feel some of them are stuck together. So I'm probably going to be ripping some of these out, but the idea is that if we stress it properly now, we can get these roots to establish the way we want them to. So you can see feeder root, feeder root, feeder root. That one's girdling, so I'm just going to pull. Really just trying to get as much of this stuff loose as we can. Okie dokie. So we just got the tree in the ground after we teased out all the roots. Big thing that's important for us is that the soil is going to settle a little bit. So it's hard to tell from here, but it's about 1 inch above grade on a downslope. So now that it's in the ground, we packed the soil, put a little moisture in there so that it can kind of fill in those spots. You can see there's a lot of root shifting. So this is when people put stakes into the ground, and we're just going to tie a couple of spots on the tree And what we're going to do is just support that tree for the first year or two. Idea being that if it gets really windy or something, we don't want it toppling over while it's establishing roots. So I think John will let me tie these up and then we'll show you the after product. In here, we're doing some generally loose knots. We're going to probably work with this homeowner to come back out and check on this one. So we just tied really loose bowlines in here, so there's no chance of girdling. This thing can move pretty freely on there. And this material has a little bit of give. So what I'm going to do is, you can see the other one is there to basically just be there in case we have a really big windstorm or some bully decides to walk down the street and try to tackle the tree or something. I put just enough tension to hold it. I'm just going to do a couple of wraps here. And we always leave a lot of extra string on here just in case we need to come back and adjust anything. It's way cheaper and frankly easier because sometimes we're lazy and we forget stuff. So just kind of putting a couple of knots in there. That's not going anywhere. Now you can see the tree can move, which we're going to re-water here to kind of minimize that. But generally, it's not going to have much room to move. After about a year, we should get some stabilization there and we'll reassess it then.